Hello everyone, welcome to the first ever episode of the Ever Sidequesters One D&D livestream and podcast. Yes, we are actually playing One D&D, the playtest rules, and this is going to be an interesting kind of game. It's going to be a updating game as more Unearthed Arcana 1 D&D rule sets come out, so will this game change. It's going to be an interesting experiment, and I am dragging my friends along, some of them begrudgingly kicking and screaming, some of them interested to see what happens here. And everyone seems like, we're all going to have a good time as long as we're not using electrum pieces. So, what is going on, everyone? I am Andrew, your DM here, and let my players introduce themselves, their name, and their character name, and their class. So, start us off, Eric.
I'm Eric, and I shall be playing Gorgoth Gloryhammer, Minotaur Paladin.
Hi, I'm Mike, and I'll be playing Marco Brambleheart, the Stout Halfling Bard.
My name's Scott, and I'll be playing Schmebulok, the Gnome Wizard.
My name is Sean, and I will be playing Durgon Stonefist, the Dwarf Barbarian.
Yes, and luckily we have ourselves one of every class from the expert classes rule set. So we have an official warrior with our barbarian, we have a priest with the paladin, we have an expert with our bard, and we have a mage with our wizard. So we have everything covered, I guess. So we've already got all of our characters rolled out. There is one extra thing that is a little different than some of the other stuff here. Because of the way Rangers were set up in the expert classes here, I've gone ahead and I am like 90% sure that paladins are going to be acting the same way. So at level 1, our paladin here has access to spells and cantrips just like the ranger does, and the same as the bard. So, except they have divine spells, and I've gone through and kind of compared all the spells and lists and set them up with a list of stuff that's already going on here. So, with that out of the way, now that we have all of our characters introduced and ready to go, let's dive right into this, shall we? So we're going to go ahead and switch over. We are playing the quest of the Ballad of the Bonny Bard, an interesting little storyline that involves the players finding a treasure map that will allow them to hopefully find a particular bard and his treasure chest on a deserted, or at least thought to be deserted, island. And with that, let us switch over to the character screen there. Actually, get rid of that there, kill that, and bring everyone over to the splash screen here. All right, everyone, let me know when you've switched over to the screen here, and we'll continue on with our adventure.
I see the backsplash.
Yep.
Excellent. So our adventure begins in a rather large town by the name of Zabalamuga. And in this town, we have the scene setting into a market square here. The market is very full and lively of people, and just full of adventurers and people roaming the streets looking for their wares and other sorts of, gear, weaponry, items for their businesses, and so on and so forth. All right, let me kill some of this music here. And as our camera pans down from an overview of the city of Zabalamuga, we zoom in on our wizard and barbarians, Schmebulok and Durgon. And Schmebulok, for one reason or another, maybe has just purchased himself a book from the market square to help him along with his research as a wizard. And within this book, that is going to allow them to adventure, or gain more spells as a wizard, or at least poke some interesting areas of of play. What exactly do you think, Schmebulok, you were purchasing this book for?
Trying to learn new names. I'm always in search of learning sort of the origins of things, and the names is the root of all of that. So I'm looking to learn more of the history of this world and what's going on around it.
Okay. And as you flip open this book, you notice a map falls out of the book, ironically enough. And we're going to switch over to this map that you find, Schmebulok. Right, and get everyone over to here. This is what you find. You see yourself with what appears to be some kind of a treasure map. And on it is a bunch of markings and locations about this map itself. What would you like to do with this map that you found yourself with?
Would I be able to know where roughly I am on the map?
Yes. Go ahead and give me an investigation check. Or history, whichever's better.
First roll the game.
A 9. Alright, so with that, you're pretty sure maybe somewhere on this map, but the markings, you think maybe, maybe we're over here or something on this part of the map. But you start looking at the coastlines and you're thinking to yourself, this doesn't seem right. I don't know exactly where this is. This doesn't look like anything I know. And then you start looking at the icons on the map, and you're seeing a bunch of stuff that doesn't look familiar. So you're pretty sure this isn't the continent you're on right now.
Gotcha. Maybe I can find some people to help me figure out this map.
Do you look over the map and check out anything else on it?
Yeah, looking at all the different symbols, trying to figure out what different landmarks could be.
Okay. Yeah, some of these look like maybe a cave system. That you can definitely see a skull and crossbones. It looks like there's something to do with maybe mountains in the middle of the map. A lot of interesting things. Some kind of a bridge. Maybe some kind of ruins or something. Nothing really beyond the markings. Nothing on this side of the map seems to really stand out to you.
Okay, what's on the reverse side of the map?
The reverse side of the map. Let's see here. Trying to find my notations here for that. On the back side of the map, you find a bunch of scrawlings. There we go. And on here is first of all, obviously the front side is a hand-drawn map, so hence why it looks so odd. But on the back side, you find yourself a verse. And it seems to be a verse written by a bard. And as the verse goes, that is handwritten in common, you see, "Mutiny in mind is where I started. With Captain Spoils I quickly departed. Though my character was revealed to be craven, it was in a rowboat heavily laden. With a sinking ship I reached the shores of Soot. That put me in mind of a stallion's boot." And then it seems to trail off as to indicate there's more to this ballad than meets the eye. Give me an insight check. $16. Okay. So, you're pretty sure that you feel that going to wherever this island is, you'll find the rest of this verse that potentially could, in all intents purposes, lead you to possible treasure. This does look like a treasure map. And with the verses here, it looks like you have some clues as to possibly how to find the treasure here. Now, remind you, Durgan is with you, walking about, your dwarf companion. What would you like to do, standing in the middle of this market, having found a having found this treasure map in this book you just recently purchased.
I started asking about horses. I don't know a lot about horses. Do you see anything on this map that might clue you into a horse's foot?
You sharing this with Durgan?
Yeah, just sort of flashing the map over to him.
Nope. Nope. Don't see any horses.
Well, with that, you have time to think about potentially what the that last part of the verse is bringing up with the stallion's boot. What would you like to do from here as you're standing in the market?
Well, I think we gotta figure out how to get there, right?
Yeah. I have a question. Are you going to write that verse down somewhere? Because your map thing is way bad.
Yeah, I could write that down. I got some paper and pen and parchment and all that good stuff with me, so I can make a copy.
And just for everyone, I've put it into the chat bar too, so you can see the verse that was left out there for you. Oh, it looks like we got another subscriber to the channel. So, as you're looking and starting to write down the verse of the map, even though it is, it's on the backside, but you can have a copy of it in your notes. Give me a perception check. You're gonna like this one, Mike.
Yeah, you're gonna want to roll this one.
You both give me perception checks. Okay, we got Schmebulok with a 13. And Durgan's mighty 5. Well, Durgan, would you mind maybe explaining why your character probably rolled a 5 with his perception check at the moment? Giving a little bit of your backstory and your background.
Well, I grew up in the Underdark, so I don't know surface areas. I'm not sure I can help you with this.
Yeah, definitely being a deep-born dwarf and living down in the deep caves and underdark areas of, well, the Underdark. This is probably nothing you're extremely familiar with, and especially with all the sights and sounds going on here, it's probably throwing you off. But Schmebulok, being a rock gnome and having more access to the upper worlds here, a faint tune catches you hearing, and you notice. Let's see here. That you hear coming from the south of where you are in the major market of Zabalamuga, that you're hearing some kind of limericks or a song. It sounds like someone's playing music in a nearby inn or tavern or some kind of establishment.
Well, let's follow our nose. Let's head to this interesting ruckus.
Okay. So you guys head south a bit, and as you get further and further south, you start to hear, certainly, the music coming from the open windows of an establishment just south of the main markets on the thoroughfare leading out the south gates of Zabalamuga. And as you turn to look at this establishment, you can see clearly marked on a hanging billboard the sign, "The Thick Meerkat." And coming from outside, or coming from the inside of the building, is a rather, ruckus sounds of someone singing or playing music inside this establishment. And considering you read limericks, someone singing might have better knowledge of what's going on here.
That sounds like the place to be. I think we should go.
100%.
Okay, so you head into the Thick Meerkat?
Yes, I will go there.
Okay. So you both, grab the door, head into the Thick Meerkat, and you find yourselves in a rather nice and lavish-looking place. Let's see here. So, in the Thick Meerkat, as you walk in to the left side, is a rather nicely built hearth and fireplace. And over top of the mantle of this fireplace is probably what gives the name of the Thick Meerkat the name. There is a dummy thick meerkat stuffed over top the mantle of this fireplace. As you continue to look around, there is a beautifully polished mahogany bar where patrons sit and converse with one another, talking and what have you. And off to the sides, you see a bunch of booths and whatnot to your right, with a staircase that leads up to the second floor of this Thick Meerkat Inn. Let's see here. Along the walls of this establishment, you see pictures of the same person, a human male, wearing various colors of purples and black striped outfits, red and black striped outfits. It's all basically the same type of style, but in different colors. And there are various ones of this person. Probably owns the establishment, but who? You're not quite sure as of yet. And seeing that this is, the morning, or, towards the midday here, you're going to see a few humanoids walking about, and inside the establishment are a bunch of, female staff members. You happen to see a tabaxi female walking about dressed in a red and gold embroidered outfit, and then you'll also see a female centaur working behind that lovely polished mahogany bar that is, doing bartender stuff, cleaning glasses and taking care of drinks and passing things out, and the place is pretty busy. And as you walk in, you take in the sights and sounds of this place. You happen to notice directly to the left, in front of the fireplace, is a halfling, and the halfling is, well, Marco, why don't you tell us what the halfling is doing inside of the Thick Meerkat Inn?
Oh, he's up dancing on a table and busting out on his lute. Probably not great. We'll have to check a performance check for that, if you don't mind.
Okay, hold on a minute. Let me see here. I gotta turn you guys' volume up just a bit.
A little low?
Yeah. Alright, go ahead and give me another, give me a test there, Mike, real quick.
Alright, Marco is up dancing on a table and playing his lute, and I was about to make a performance check to see how well he was playing, and going from there.
Okay,
Ready?
Go ahead and give me a performance check to see how you're doing in the Thick Meerkat.
Alright, not bad.
Alright,
Let's see here.
Okay, so with an 18, you are strumming away like, any kind of guitarist from a band is just blaring out, just, going crazy. I like to think of either maybe like Tenacious D, or even who's the Fire Before the Fire and the Flame there? I can't think of their name. Dragon Force, yeah.
My fingers aren't bleeding quite yet. That's not that bad.
So yes, you are strumming away heartily at at the bar, in the bar here, playing away. And as you take in the sights and sounds, maybe you wink at someone across the way. And as the Shmebulok and Durgon look and to see who's doing what, there happens to be a very maybe stoic-looking minotaur in chainmail, standing and leaning against the railing here. Kurgath. What is Kurgath doing inside of the thick meerkat at the moment?
Kurgath is currently nursing a drink and just enjoying the ambiance.
Okay. So you're hanging out waiting for, maybe you're waiting for Marco because Marco seems to give you like a note as if he knows you, Kurgath. So I'm assuming you probably give him some kind of a nod back as they are doing as you two are doing your business here.
Yeah, a very subtle kind of nod. And,
Okay.
And I'll just casually just scan the room.
Yeah. So you scan the room, and as you scan the room, you see two smallish humanoids come walking in, a rock gnome and a very pale dwarf. And they're kind of not necessarily bewildered. Well, the dwarf definitely looks bewildered, but the rock gnome seems to be intent on trying to figure something out. So, Shmebulak, you see a bard performing, just jamming out hard on their lute. You see a rather stoic minotaur taking in the surroundings. What do you and Durgon do?
Is the Minotaur, you said, is he at a bar, or is he just sort of standing off to the side?
Probably probably one of those standing tables.
Gotcha, yeah. I'll go and sort of walk up to, I guess the table probably like eye level for me. Walk up to the table and just sort of kick him in the shin, and then stick out a very small hand up towards his face. And said, "Hello, I'm Shmebulak Tor Quicksong. Pleasure to meet you. Do you know who owns this bar?"
It's a lot of questions all at once, little man. But no, I do not know the owner of this establishment. And my name is Kurgath Gloryhammer.
And as you two introduce yourselves, the Tabaxi making the rounds comes over and sees that you're a new patron and kneels down a bit and comes up to you, and he says, "Well, Sugar, pleasure meeting you here. First time I've ever seen you inside the Thick Meerkat establishment. Is there a drink or some food I might be able to get you?"
Some beer for myself. What about you, Durgon?
I am going up to the bar.
All right. So as that happens, you split off, and Durgon goes to speak with the bard. So then, one beer for the adorable-looking little gnome here, and Kurgath. What about you? Another one for you, sir?
Still nursing this one. Perhaps later.
All right. We'll be right back with that for you. By the way, what's your name? I'm Suki. I'm terribly sorry. I forgot to introduce myself. Speaking to Shmebulak.
Oh, I'm Shmebulak Tor Quicksong. Pleasure to meet you. And who owns this establishment? I see the faces. I see the clout and the importance of this person. Who is this man?
Oh, by word, you don't know the owner of this fine establishment, the best inn and tavern in all of Zabalamuga? Well, that, pointing out to each of the pictures, is Goodga the Tooth, a fine, upstanding gentleman of the community. A pillar, one might say. He is a fantastic person.
And I'll yell out from the back, "He's a pimp!"
No, don't let them fool you. He is he is a man of business and a hustler, some might say. Definitely not a pimp. No. And she quickly stands up. If there's nothing else, I'll be off to get you a beer, Shmebulak.
Wonderful.
And as she goes, her tail just delicately traces against you, and she just smirks and walks away into the back over to the centaur female to get your order. All right. So shifting over to Durgon as he makes his way over to Marco, the Bard. Durgon?
I'm going to watch him, like, stand conspicuously out there with my arms kind of crossed, listening to him, and, like, obviously waiting for him to finish his music.
Okay. Marco, how long do you continue playing until you notice that this pale, exceptionally pale dwarf, very muscular, by the way, is just watching you intently?
Now, being a bard, I see all sorts of patrons, at establishments that I play at. Would I have any inkling as to the background of this fellow here, based on his appearance?
Give me a history check. Okay. You faintly know about these types of dwarves. Exceptionally pale, hardly ever coming up to the surface. Yeah, you're a little aware of who he is or where he comes from. Anything in particular you'd like to know about that?
I'm gonna ignore him for a bit and just keep, look like I'm thinking about something, like after I spot him. Just like as a distraction while I try to come up with something. A little, customized piece for him.
Okay. All right, yeah, and as you look up and down this deep-born dwarf, go ahead and give me another performance check, and we'll say at advantage because you do know a bit about them, and you can kind of piece together maybe like a rough idea of what musics they might be interested in. Okay, an 18. Sure enough, 18. As the bard starts to shift their music performance from something a little bit more upbeat and playful, it starts to shift into a more, stoic, not necessarily somber, but a very just...
No. I'm making a custom limerick for him.
Oh, okay. By all means, then, give us this limerick.
Now, it's not going to be directed at him, but he's going to know that, I know,
Right.
I'm gonna kind of shift from foot to foot impatiently.
And I'm also going to post it out in chat, too, because this is as I came up with it.
Okay.
I once met a dwarf in a cave. He tried to make me a slave. With a push and a shove, I made my way above and avoided an early grave.
Very nice, very nice. I'm awarding that inspiration. So go ahead, get yourself inspiration for that excellent limerick. Was that just off the cuff from right now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Better than I could do for sure. I played a bard once.
Yeah, And, at the end, I'm going to end on that and then turn my attention to him with a smile. And it's like, how may I help you, Master Dwarf?
I'm gonna look at him confused for a moment, deciding whether or not that was an insult or a praise of some kind. And then I'm just gonna shake my head. My friend needs a person that knows about songs. You want to know about songs. You want to talk to him? Name's Durgon.
Well, Durgon, my name is Marco. It is a pleasure to meet you, and any friend of yours is surely an upstanding citizen. I would love to meet him.
Great.
Just dripping with sarcasm, perhaps? Seriousness? It's hard to tell.
So, Durgon and Marco head over to meet up with Kurgoth and Shmebulok at one of the standing tables, or sitting tables somewhere in the bar and inn.
Hey, Shmebulok. Hey, this guy here knows songs.
Oh, he knows songs? What's his name?
It's Marco.
Marco, yeah. You got a last name there, Marco?
Yes.
Oh,
And that's
All
it.
sort of give him the side eye, and then I keep elbowing and crouching on this Minotaur's personal space, and I sort of clear off the table and slap the map down.
Yeah, and he slaps the map down that we can see here on the screen.
Yeah, so we got this treasure map, but we don't know where this island is or how to get there.
It's very good instincts coming to a bar. It's where you can find a lot of experts. I certainly would have brought this to a cartographer.
Nice.
So, let's see here. Well, yes, it appears to be an island.
Marco, while you're looking at this map, we'll hold off for that for a second. Go ahead. Continue on.
Oh no, if there's any like passive observations I can make about the map.
Give me an investigation check. Okay. Nothing at the moment.
Yes,
Nothing at
it
the moment.
appears to be a map.
Well, we're no worse off than what we were.
But you said a song as well?
Yeah, then I flip the map over. It's map.
Okay. So you flip the map over, and you immediately see a handwritten lyric, Marco. And
Alright.
this is where I'm going to need you to roll either history or insight for me, please.
History it is. And I will use that inspiration. Probably
Good
a
call.
good thing.
Okay, 16. It takes a moment as you're looking at this limerick, and you're reading it to yourself pretty quickly, and you think you recognize the lyrics here as a bard that you know through other sources and whatnot. You believe this treasure map probably belongs to the bard Arnaldo Brightbottle, an explorer who sailed the seas searching for legendary treasure and adventure. This particular bard had hoped to, splash his name across the history books, but, he kind of just disappeared one day. He was a bard known as the Bonny Bard, and had a lot of high energy and unending enthusiasm, although some might say nauseating. So, kind of combining this with the lyric that you got a chance to read on the backside, you're pretty sure that this is a treasure map from what you're reading here.
All right.
And as you're looking over the map, Suki, the tabaxi female, comes back and places down a drink and then looks at the rest of you. Oh, Marco, I see you're taking a break. Is there anything you'd like? And for you, my rather pale dwarfen friend?
I think I will have myself one of those pints of lager.
Okay, lager coming right up.
They rip you off with the pictures here. I mean, one of these lagers is practically a picture on its own.
Anything for you? Looking at Durgan.
Oh, have an ale, please.
Perfect. Being right up. I'll be right back. And Suki once again hands over the beer to Shmebulok and then walks back over to the bar, while tending to some of the other clientele in the bar here as well. So, you find yourself here, Marco, with a treasure map that appears to be the former owner of a bard. What would you like to do now that, this gnome has brought this to your attention?
So matching up, obviously if this is a treasure map, then the lyrics would have something to do with the cipher for making our way through here.
Mm-hmm.
And would my character be able to decipher the map based on the lyrics? Or would you like a skill check?
What exactly are you trying to figure out?
Decipher the starting point of the map.
Okay. Sure. Let me see here. Double check some stuff just to see if there's anything. Yeah, go ahead and give me an insight check.
My weakness.
Okay, 13. Well, considering that the lyrics talk about, let's see here, a sinking ship and the shores of soot, and then something to the effect of a stallion's boot. What do you got? What are you pinging there, Scott? What do you think?
The horseshoe-like bay here
South of the volcano?
of soot.
Very possible. That seems like a reasonable place to start your adventure once you are able to secure travel to this island, and if you can find it.
God.
Well, we can also probably narrow it down, based on, shores of soot with horseshoe-shaped bay in it. So there can't be that many islands out there with a volcano on it.
How far can you get in a
Or could
row?
that be a dragon's nest?
I was gonna say it could be a bird's nest on top of a termite mound.
What was that, Sean? What were you saying for Durgan?
The song says he got away in a rowboat. How far can you sail in a rowboat?
I would say just out from the bay, especially if he was heavily laden. Because it must have been after the ship was already out to sea. And then he took the rowboat and found the island. So also, the mutiny right there, if we could look up the history of ships that have been mutinied, that it was known at least, if this is one of those ships. Especially given who wrote this.
No, it's also very possible that such a record wouldn't be known because going by the lyrics, it sounds like the ship was sinking.
Yeah, the only survivor is probably whoever made up the rhyme and created the map.
Yes. Probably a spoony
There
bard.
would be, right. So there would be no record of this particular ship being mutinied.
Maybe going missing.
So, where can we go to find out if there's any nearby islands with black shores that had a thinking?
Well, as you're all considering how to get to the island, Suki walks up and hands over the last two, the two drinks that you've all ordered, and it took her a little bit longer than before to get there. And as she comes back, she winks at you all, and then from the back door, a sudden and just immediate burst comes out. And a gentleman, looking very familiar to you all in the paintings, is wearing a rather gaudy-looking, long blue and black striped tiger coat with blue velvet pants and shirt, lots of gaudy rings on his hands, and a exceptionally wide-brimmed hat in the same blue and black tiger striped styling here. And he just, makes this massive entrance and doesn't say a word. Nothing yet. And then looks around and spots Suki. Suki kind of gives him a nod And he walks over, licking his teeth, and then casually puts his arm up on the table. Well, I hear someone was talking and asking about me, Goodger the Tooth. What can I do for you, gentlemen? I just happened to be looking over my establishment here, and couldn't help but wonder, what were you all doing? And he quickly puts a finger on the treasure map that you have laid out. This looks fascinating.
I'll put my finger on the map right here. Yeah, them two things is dancing. That looks like a cool place to go. You know it?
Well, this is the first I've heard of such a place. What might you know about this? Looks it over a bit. Looks like a treasure map, maybe?
I'm just gonna give him a flat stare.
Yeah, no one's throwing around that T word.
I don't know, gentlemen. It's a little aged, it's a little damaged. There's hand-scrawled work on here. Looks like, and he leans in real close, we got ourselves a treasure map. Are
And
you
I'm
all...
going to place my hand on it and interrupt Goodger at this point. He's like, Goodger, my good man. Fabulous hat, by the way. I love it. Love
Marco.
The outfit. The ensemble is mwah. And I just do the whole chef's kiss.
Marco, you behave yourself. It is such a fun time when you are in blessing yourself in my establishment. But,
I know.
Go ahead.
But this is, perhaps you know the great bard, what was his name, Adolfino, I can't remember what it was now, sorry, I spaced. I was about to write it down, but...
Greenbottom?
Adolfino Greenbottom? Was that it?
Let me pull it up real quick here.
Right bottom? That guy. Yeah,
Arnaldo
that guy.
Brightbottle.
Bottle, not bottom. Oh.
Arnaldo Brightbottle.
But
Well,
this was actually, he went missing years ago on a sea voyage, and this was his last will and testament, and we are trying to find this item to carry out his will.
will, you say? Well, a will equals an estate, which also means there's probably money or property involved. Look, I'm always curious to, patron people and their adventures. You seem to have an island that you need to get to. I'd be willing to help you all out for a cut of the money. I could schedule you guys and looks over. I'm assuming you're all adventurers working together on this. Am I not correct?
Goodger, of course you know that I work here. For you, of course.
Of course,
So
of course.
your interests are my interests.
Yeah, they most certainly are. Look, I'd be willing to charter you all a boat to get you to this island. Just let me know where the island is, and we'll say half of the proceeds that you find come back to me for getting you this passage to this island here.
Perhaps we could also use your exhaustive resources to discover where this island is. Do you happen to know any cartographers, map makers, architects, perhaps?
Oh, I'm certainly sure. My good man, Marco, I'm sure we could definitely find that out easily in the next couple hours or so.
And Marco's just dry washing his hands and just, sympathetically leaning in the whole time as he's talking to Goodger.
Yes, and speaking of which, thinking of the name of Goodger the Tooth, you look at him as he's talking to you, and every one of his teeth is plated in gold except for one. One is still normal. Go on. So yes, you're dry washing your hands as you're talking to Goodger about this.
And just entreating him to help us further by having resources to finding where this island is as well.
Oh, of course. The passage. Go ahead.
Not to interrupt, but Marco, you are well aware that this map is not ours, but these gentlemen's here. Ergo, the decision is theirs to make.
So, where would you guys like to go from here with this?
Oh,
I mean,
I go where he goes.
I go where the map goes.
I guess I'm going with the map as the map is mine. Yeah, I'm interested in seeking this down, and so again, looking for any kind of harbor master. So yeah, any kind of source of information that we can get to locate this place.
Okay. If you guys want to fast track this a little bit, we can just kind of fast forward through this and get you ahead, because definitely with Goodger's assistance and pointing you in the right direction, we can easily get you to a cartographer or someone like a historian, someone that knows where this island is out in the ocean. And within a few hours, Goodger has a ship ready for you. It's up to you. If you want to role play it out, we can do that. Otherwise, we can fast track it. What do you guys think?
It's up to you guys.
I'm okay with fast tracking.
Yeah, I mean, we're here to play test, not to role play exactly, but it's good to get some role play in at least.
Oh yeah, bunch of role play already. All right, so we'll say we'll fast track this a little bit, and Goodger looks it over, taps the table a quick bit. He's like, "I know exactly the person you need to see," and he sends you on over to the what was it? It sends you to a couple places. I'll get you the names in a little bit. I forgot the name of the magic store. But anyways, he sends you off on your way, and he goes, "Meet me back here once you've got the name of it, and we can have a ship ready in a couple hours and sending you on your way. Once you are ready to go, head on down to the port. You know how to get there, right?" Looking at Marco.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, being a couple people and those watching, the port for Zabalamuga isn't attached to the city itself. It's, maybe a mile or two south along the beach and the coastline, where if you venture too far away from the port, it gets a little dangerous out there.
Just a little bit.
A little bit. So, Goodger lets you know that, probably by mid-afternoon or so, you can easily get to, head on down to the ship once everything has been straightened out and you're on your way.
So I guess at that point we'd just be working on making preparations for the trip.
Yep, so if there's anything you'd like to go ahead and purchase, go ahead and just deduct those. Don't worry about telling me, because it's all going to be like basic stuff. So get whatever you need, make the deductions, and we'll get ready to move on to the next part.
I'm pretty sure I have everything I need.
Did he say about how far out the island was?
Say again?
Did he say about how far out the island was?
The island itself is a bit of travel through the day. Once you meet up with the cartographer and you start getting ideas of where this island is actually located, it's a little ways out there. It's kind of a secluded, potentially deserted island. Let's see here. Trying to see what the notes were for that. I'm not seeing anything exactly how far out it is. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a bit of a travel by boat, but that will also be kind of fast track, so you don't have to worry about that.
Okay. How about this? Is the captain that is sailing us out to the island feeding us?
Doubtful. Probably not.
Okay, so we need rations for the voyage out, and at least the voyage back, plus whatever time we're on the island.
Yep. All right, so with that, and while you guys are making your purchases, we will go ahead and move forward as you make your way, taking care of your shops, and then after a couple hours, You meet up with Goodger probably one more time, get everything sorted out, and he lets you know that the boat is ready to be boarded and that you can head on out.
Thank you, Goodger.
So, you all begin heading out now that you have your equipment and whatnot. And if there's anything you need after the fact, we can go ahead and just kind of like retcon and throw that in after the live stream's done or whatever happens. And you begin traveling south out of the city with your new companions, some of which, you've just met, some of them so half the party kind of knows each other, the other half is brand new to you. And you make your way out of the south gate of Zabalamuga, past the rather kind of almost ghost town section of Zabalamuga, where a lot of the houses on the gates outside of the city are vacant and empty, more or less. It's kind of surprising, but there's no issues here, and you make your way after traveling along the road down to the port city, or to the port for the city, excuse me. And as you get to the port, you let's see here. Let me take care of something real quick. You get towards the ocean here, and you can see, several large buildings and some signs along the way as you get to the port here for Zabalamuga. Lots of signs saying, "Stay on the path. Do not venture off onto the beach. Danger." What the heck were they? The monsters that are out there. Spitting the acid and burrow. I can't think of their name now. CR2s.
Monstrosities?
Oh yeah.
Ankeg?
Yes, Ankeg. Thank you. Beach littered with Ankeg. And the funny part is, everyone go ahead and make perception checks for me. And give me your 4 if you get below it.
Would you say you want our if we're below?
If you're below, just give me the floor, so whatever your passive perception is.
Oh, I should not have been at advantage. Sorry about that.
It's all right. All right, so what do we got here? We got Marco with a 17, it looks like. And
No, it gave me advantage for some reason. I clicked normal, though. It should have been a 1. Oh, wait, no, because of luck. That's right. Luck lets me reroll.
yes, halfling luck. Okay, so we got a 12, an 11, and a few others here. Most of you, looking down the beaches, can definitely see why you wouldn't want to walk on the beaches. It looks like through either some form of foolishness or other what have you, there seems to be a series of groups of people hunting Ankeg and actually going after them willy-nilly. It's not really, there's not the guards of Zabalamuga, but it seems like maybe there's other adventuring parties or some kind of a group out here trying to, take care of the Ankeg problem out here for some reason or another. For the third zone, I believe it is. Anyways.
Oh, the magic shop.
Yeah, the third zone is the magic shop. So, you head out and you see people fighting the Ankeg and you're like, better luck, good luck to them. But anyways, you meet up with your captain of the ship. Goodger the Tooth gave you the name of the captain. You're set onto the ship and you start sailing out. Anything you want to do before setting sail, or are you good to go?
I guess just make sure my character has the sea legs. First time he's been at sea.
Very true. All right, so with that, if there's nothing else, you guys set sail and you begin heading towards this island out in the middle of the ocean. Okay, I'm going to switch us back over to the splash page here. And get into this here. So, you guys travel for a while, and let's see here. You guys make some travel, and the seas are pretty calm and pretty quiet. Good strong wind. The captain, you hear over here talking to the crew. Strong wind. We'll make it in no time. We'll be there in, maybe a few hours. And you all think to yourselves, it felt like the luckiest day of your life when the water-stained parchment slipped from between the pages of the book you randomly picked up in the marketplace. An honest-to-God's treasure map. After many long hours of poring over nautical charts, the location of the volcanic island with shores of soot was pinpointed. With a ship hired, with money borrowed from a patron in exchange for promised treasure, the hunt for buried treasure was on. But it was with the island sitting just in sight when your luck ran out. And sure enough, the one of the crew members on top of the in the crow's nest cries out "land" as you can just start to make out the island and the volcano, and rather active. There is some smoke pouring out from the volcano here. A galleon waving the red flag of piracy slipped under the sun to blindside your ship, leaving you clinging to bits of wreckage as you watch it sink beneath the waves. The jeers of the pirates ring out as they leave you for dead and make way for the island. You can already feel the ocean's chill as a fin breaks the surface of a few dozen yards away. You're about to become part of the feast. And with that, we will shift into our first encounter. Okay. A bunch of, thumes of cannon fire as your ship that was hired by Goodger wasn't prepared to be attacked by pirates is destroyed, and you're left floating in the middle of this ocean here. All right,
Flash.
Let me get to this music here and kill that noise. And with that, let's see here. As you are swimming about, you can see off into the sides in the distance here a few sharks make way as you all finally make your way to the surface of the water and see that, amongst yourselves in the center of this wrecked ship, there are sharks swimming about, going after what appear to be survivors or dead crew members of the ship on the outskirts of this wreck that you find yourselves in here. So we'll have a few commoners all over the place here.
Thank God this isn't Descent 2.0.
Right?
If you lose a single columner, you lose.
All right, let's see here. I gotta load up some battle music. Wait, no, I don't want that one. Okay, so we are going to go into an encounter here. I'm not too much worried about the commoners because they're flailing about and doing their own things. But you have an encounter here with some sharks on the outskirts of the wreckage of the ship, and a bunch of commoners here flailing about trying to cling to whatever wreckage they can for the time being. Oh, we got a kitty.
Yeah, Zanny.
That's what that motorboat sound is?
Yep.
All right, everyone, go ahead and add yourselves to initiative.
Go ahead, pet your cats.
Start your engines and pet your cats.
I used to remember where that initiative button is. There it is. Oh,
Oh man, whoever has that same die as me has got a really lucky one along with me. Is that you, Eric?
No, it's me. Turn it on, bro.
I gotta fix something real quick. All right, hold on. I gotta put on. Let's see here. Never displayed always for everyone. Get you guys' tokens up to date. Okay, that one's good, and that one's good.
Slightly disturbed. The sharks are purring.
Is your Minotaur normal sized or is he large sized?
The player Minotaurs are medium sized.
Okay, there we go. Now you should all be able to see your hit points and nameplates. Everyone good there?
Good thing we have a big to take care of all the smalls here.
Right?
Yeah. Daddy.
All right, so let me roll initiative for my reef sharks, and the commoners were just going to go last as they flail about. I got a 2 and a 12 for my reef sharks. All right, so
Oh, not last.
we begin combat with Shmebulok. Shmebulok, what do you do as you are floating and clinging to
man.
this wreckage? Now, just to let you know, there are a load of just debris here, floating pieces of shredded wood and whatnot, and rope and whatnot from the ship itself. Just to give you an idea of like what's floating around, as well as like some barrels and some other
Would
stuff.
the sharks be in cover then?
Technically, yes, they would have 3/4 coverage because their fin is the only thing you can see. And since it's so far away, you're going to have disadvantage on any attacks that you make against them right now, unless you were to swim under the water to try and attack them.
Or if our attack was a saving throw attack.
True, yeah. Yeah, that would work fine then.
Gotcha. Is it an attack and ability check? I'm assuming no. Attack's a separate thing.
Yep, the attack is a D20 check. So you would, it'll be attack rolls, ability, skill checks, and saves for the D20 check.
I'm gonna try and throw a firebolt at it.
All right.
At this sharky dude down here. Now I'm gonna select it as a target and roll the spell. Do you have to do anything on your end for that cover?
Yes, I need to give it 3/4 coverage real quick. Okay.
That's what, +3 AC?
+5.
Oh, shit.
Yep. All right, go ahead and get that attack roll.
Alright, now how the heck do I cast a spell with this thing?
Oh, in the left side of your screen, do me a favor. You see the crossed swords?
Yep.
Click that on.
Oh, wow, this is different.
Yeah, it's a little different. In the bottom section, you should see something that says spells. So you'd click cast a spell. Oh, there you go.
Alright.
You got it.
There we go.
All right. Woo! Roll a
Very
25.
nice.
Very nice. All right, so we got a 19 and 4 points of damage. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, for some
That's
reason.
all I got as I keep splooshing around trying to figure out,
I'll have to look
something
into
to
that.
hold on to or what's going on.
All right, so
That's
yes,
all I got.
your firebolt flies out and connects and hits the shark in the fin as it, as you attack it from such a great distance away. Okay. Up next is the reef shark, who was just attacked and swims, gets all discombobulated a bit and then moves over and goes and attacks a commoner. And immediately, just, you weren't sure if this commoner was dead or alive, but it is just pulled underneath and gone. You don't hear anything.
1 HP counter.
Maybe. All right, up next is Durgon. Let's see here. All right, Durgon, what would you like to do?
Swimming is half our speed. Though.
Yes, unless you have a swim speed.
I'm actually going to kind of tread water where I'm at and take a ready action. If any of the sharks get within range, I will immediately try to grapple it.
Okay. Give me a perception check while you're getting ready for this. Okay. Yeah, you're really focused on this. But as you kind of look about, you can see some of the other survivors, some of these other sailors here close by to you. And it appears that some of them, like maybe this one, for instance, is trying to lash together some of the wood and the ropes to make a makeshift raft to try and get up and out of the water.
Oh, good for him.
Okay. Anything else for Durgon? You're just going on a ready action?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. If you would, go ahead and click yourself, and then click on the thing. You should see a spot that says ready. Yeah, it's a little clock. There you go. Now you are officially on ready. Alright, anything else? You can end your turn. Alright, Kurgath, you are up. You see Shmebulok throw out a tasty little firebolt at one of the shark fins, and then you see Kurgan kind of getting ready as some of the other sailors are trying to lash together debris to make some makeshift rafts, possibly, to get up and float on, to get out of the water. What would you like to do?
I'd like to move over to here. And that shark down below there, can I still see his fin?
Yep. You can see some blood starting to trail as whatever the victim was, is being just torn asunder by this reef shark.
So how do I use a cantrip off this bar?
You got the reef shark targeted, right? If you hit...
Okay, yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Targeted. I'm new to spells, so I apologize.
No worries. What are you trying to hit him with?
Toll the Dead. So I click Toll the Dead, and it gives me damage, versatile, and saving throw.
It might be because you targeted me.
No, I don't see a target on you.
I don't have you targeted. I have the shark targeted.
All right, let me see what happens when I click that.
Yeah, target that shark.
Oh, was I supposed to do something here? Oh, I was supposed to do a reaction. I gotta make sure next time that my stuff is all set up.
Why is it making me do the saving throws?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a good question.
Oh.
All right, let me see here. So my shark needs to
And
do
there
a
should be-
wisdom save, right?
Yes.
Oh, I
Okay.
see.
And since he's missing hit points, if he fails it, he takes 1d12 points of necrotic damage.
All right, so the reef shark rolled an 11, so definitely fails your DC 14 for the Toll the Dead.
It says 1d8.
Yeah, it's 1d8 if they're at full hit points. It's 1d12
Oh, okay.
if they're missing any.
Go ahead and hit that 1d12. Okay, so 3 points of tolling dead damage as a bit of gong rolls out and hits the reef shark oddly.
And that is my turn.
Okay, Marco, you are up.
Would I be able to call out as a free action?
Sure, what are you trying to call out?
I'm going to yell out for any survivors to start swimming their way over here.
Okay, yeah, you can definitely do that. Call to the survivors here.
And then for my action, I am going to cast Mind Sliver on the already damaged shark.
Okay.
So
Okay.
he needs a. It shouldn't be a DC 12. Oh, it shouldn't be a DC 12. It should be based off of my spell DC, which is my Wisdom.
Right. Okay. Give me a second here. Let me look at that real quick.
For your charisma, you're a bard.
Yeah. Well, no, they have to make the intelligence save, but it shouldn't be based on my intelligence.
Yeah, no, I gotta fix that.
Damage.
Let's see here. Saving throw. We're gonna have it go for charisma. And what's your charisma modifier?
It's +4
Plus
or
four.
+2 with the or proficiency.
It is-
though it's +4.
Yeah, his DC's 14, same as mine.
Weird. Okay. I will. Oh, that's right. Intelligence saving throw versus charisma.
Yeah, that's... Yeah. Oh, wait, no, yeah.
It's still giving me a
it's,
DC 12 for some reason.
And that's weird.
All right, I will take a look at that and try and fix it for next time. But we'll update that. Okay. And we'll have him roll an intelligence saving throw against your thing here. All right, normal damage. Normal. 9. So, oof, with -5, a 4 definitely fails your Mind Sliver.
For 6 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
And he gets the negative 1d4 on his next saving throw.
Okay, cool. Definitely make
so
sure.
if anyone has a saving throw attack, that's the best time to use it.
Definitely. All right, so Marco, end of your turn.
Yes, my turn is over. Sorry,
Okay.
I gotta click that. That's right.
No problems. All right, so the next one up is the other reef shark, and this one moves over to here and attacks the commoner, and just one shot just takes him right out. Not sure again if it was dead or alive. You couldn't quite tell, but that commoner is out of the picture. Everyone, roll me an insight check as we go to the top of round 2. All right, we got a base 14 for Durgon, 13 for Marco, 9 for Schmebulok, and Kurgoth with a 16. Okay, everyone but Schmebulok. As you're watching these reef sharks attack, it looks like they are working their way in, and there's more commoners on, more sailors out here than just what I have on the board. So it looks like you've got some time before they actually make their way in towards you guys. Just to give you a heads up. All right,
It's just the 2 sharks still?
Yeah.
Or is there, like more schematically?
just the 2 right now that you can see, anyways. All right, Schmebulok, round 2. What would you like to do?
How fast can I move in water? That's half my movement.
Yes. So 15 feet.
Okay, and then from here to here. Okay, let's. I'm a wizard, right? So I'm gonna do the wizard thing. I'm gonna swim over towards him, Mr. Sharky.
You got yourself on the. There you go.
Swim over there, and then I'm gonna change my turn. I'm gonna put this shark to sleep.
Okay.
I'm gonna,
Will
boom.
he drown?
That's what I'm wondering.
Oh wow, that is one heck of a spell thing that just went on there.
Whoa!
Yeah, you ain't joking.
Okay.
Give you a seizure, put you to sleep.
Yeah, right. Go ahead and roll damage to see how much damage you do, so you can put something to put these creatures to sleep.
Gotcha, and it is 5d8.
Okay. Yeah, with 34 points of damage for the sleep spell, you put that shark to sleep, and it just starts to float there. So we're gonna go ahead and mark that shark as unconscious.
Wizard.
It can't move, it can't speak, and it's unaware of its surroundings. Alright. So, you are now officially concentrating on that spell.
That little toggle I can flip on somewhere.
I'm gonna have to get that for you. Because that's this way. I'm gonna have to take care of a couple things before next game. But yeah. So, you put that shark to sleep, and you're now concentrating on the sleep spell. Anything else you'd like to do?
Nope, that's good for me.
Okay.
Let the rest of the team sort of know what I'm doing.
Alright, end your turn, and we will go move on to the next one. The reef shark down at the bottom. Okay. Let's see here. So, how far can they move? 40 feet swimming? Alright, so this one moves in like a counterclockwise fashion and goes in and starts to attack yet again another commoner or sailor. Actually, we'll just have him go for here and takes out that commoner. And again, just another gout of red blood. Not necessarily erupts, but, just starts to pool out. And you can see that the water is getting darker over here. And that is the end of that reef shark's turn. Durgon, you're up. Kurgath on deck. Marco on deck.
Swim my 15 feet. I'm going to throw a javelin.
Okay.
So you need to give it the plus, right?
Yep. Let me get rid of the effect there, the 3/4 coverage, because you're close enough now to see it, and because it's a piercing weapon and you're throwing it, I'm going to treat it like a trident. So you're going to have a regular attack against this creature. You're not going to have to worry about disadvantage because of water combat or anything like that.
Awesome.
Okay, base 12, total of 18 to hit. Definitely hits the reef shark. Go ahead and roll damage. Okay, total of 6 points of piercing damage. And the reef shark is definitely bloodied by now. Another 3 points there.
Okay, well, we'll end my turn.
Oh, I don't have a marker for that in there. Okay. So yeah, the reef shark is definitely bloodied. Not only is there blood from this sailor, but blood also from this reef shark. Okay. Kurgath, you're up. Marco on deck.
I would like to check this person up there. Are they still alive?
Oh yeah, this one's alive, and you're seeing that the sailor's trying to desperately and slowly starting to put something together that is fashioning a really just rudimentary life raft, basically, with the wood and some of the barrels that are floating around and the ropes. And it looks at you, he's like, "Help me, quick! Jesus, what are you doing? We gotta get out of these waters!"
Yeah, I'll give him a hand.
Okay. Go ahead, and since you're helping one of the sailors out, give me a let's see here. Give me a strength check. I guess probably athletics to try and help out. Do you have any kind of you don't have a swim speed, obviously. Do you have land vehicle knowledge or not?
No.
Okay, so just go ahead and give me some kind of a strength check, probably athletics, to help pull the wreckage together. Okay, unfortunately, you're trying to get this wreckage together, and between you and the other sailor that are trying to swim and the water splashing in you in the face, you make no further advances on putting together some kind of a life raft here. And you can hear the sailor no, like this, and then he just gets kind of pulled underneath the water. He's like, and then comes back up, fearful that maybe a shark had moved in to attack, but not so much. Okay, anything else for Kurgath?
No, I think that'd probably be it.
All right. Marco, you're up.
All right. Well, I'm going to swim out a bit. I'll swim out towards this way so that I can eventually help them, but also to get a line of sight on the shark there, and I will hit him with another Mind Sliver.
Okay. So
And
go ahead.
I was going to say, since no one had hit him with a saving throw attack, he still has the effect on him.
Right. Okay. So
Casting the best spells I can, Mike.
Muscle
Cast
wizard,
javelin?
Cast this.
Cast javelin.
it was with a -4, right?
Yep.
All right. So the shark gets a -1.
Minus 1d4.
Oh, -1d4. My bad. My bad. All right. Let me roll that out.
I mean, he still fails, but...
Oh yeah, big time. I don't know why that rolled advantage. So -3, basically the same thing. He ends up with a 0 on the save and definitely fails hard. Go ahead and roll damage.
Alrighty.
Ooh, we got 5 points of psychic damage. Yeah, and that the shark just like wriggles and writhes in pain, and then just goes belly up and starts to. You can see like the whiter soft side of the shark as it just floats and dies in the
All right,
the ocean
Andy,
there.
Don't try to undersell it. All right, I've seen that scene from Scanners. Okay.
Yeah, well, if you were to flip the shark over, you might see a blown up section of the top section of the head there. Okay, so Marco, anything else for you?
No, that will be the end of my turn. Sorry,
Okay.
I forgot to click end turn again.
All right, so quick thing on the sleep spell. Obviously, he's unconscious, so he can't do anything. But as we know about sharks, technically, they're supposed to move, but because it's D&D, there's really no rules on that. So I'm just gonna say, go ahead.
As long as there's water moving past their gills, they won't drown.
Okay,
And
so
I'm
yeah,
pretty sure they sleep, but they just sort of aimlessly go in a direction.
Yeah, they pretty much just find like a current to settle in.
all right, so yeah, actually, that's a really good point here. If sharks sleep, then they still move about, and the shark is going to listlessly, move in a straight line forward as it's sleeping now. So yes, it's asleep, but it's going on to its like primal, survival instincts of sleeping, and starts to swim away. All right, so that is the end of round 2. Top of the round with Schmebulok. You have a shark under your sleep spell, and the other shark seems to be defeated and taken care of. What would you like to do?
I was just gonna shoot a firebolt at it anyway. What's better thing to do? I don't know. I guess swim towards the group. Can we see land from here?
Yes, you can see land, but it's a good distance out still.
Could I mend some pieces of wood to make it more raftable for myself? I'm a little tiny guy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you could certainly, as Kurgath and this sailor start to put pieces together, you can kind of use your mend spell if you'd like. So you know what? Roll me Arcana. You can go ahead and do an Arcana check to help put this makeshift boat together. Sure. Instead of the other checks.
Can I cantrip guidance myself for an extra D4? No, that doesn't affect.
Well, you could, yes, because it's a reaction now. Because guidance is a
I'm gonna
reaction.
do that just for an extra D4. Cause I'm crazy.
So go ahead and roll first, and as a reaction, you can use guidance if you'd like, since you have it.
That is exactly what I meant.
Okay. So, do you want to use guidance or not?
Yep.
Oh, okay, so you're definitely using guidance. All right. So yes, you use guidance on yourself, and you hear some like noises of the stars calling out to you, and they help you mend this makeshift raft back together using your magical abilities, and helps get you a bit of the raft together. which is excellent. And you can start to see like a bit of a platform where at least maybe a couple people could sit on comfortably and get out of the water.
Great. That's it for me.
All right.
On board, everybody.
Durgon, you're up. Kurgath on deck. Marco on deck.
Also,
will
Andy,
swim
don't
up
forget to check chat.
Yes, I've been watching.
and also begin, I guess, tying boards and stuff together.
Okay, go ahead and give me an athletics check to help start tying stuff together. 16 plus 4, 2. Yes, 22 definitely gives you enough to help tie the boards together. And you're starting to see a much bigger one come together. All right, Kurgath, anything else for Durgon?
Oh, no, sorry.
Okay, and you said there's a... They've officially put together a small raft?
Let's see here.
Oh, in the works.
It is still more or less in the works. Yeah, it's still pulling more wreckage together to be able to, get the rest of the survivors on board of this. So maybe one more check, possibly, to get enough of the wood together.
Yeah, I'll try and actually be useful in this endeavor.
You were totally useful. You rang the Taco Bell gong.
Probably what's going on here is your armor is not helping you whatsoever. I'm assuming you're wearing chainmail?
Yeah.
Yeah, the chainmail is making things extremely difficult to try and keep yourself afloat while also help lash together this this makeshift raft. Anything else for Kurgath? All right, looks like Marco, you're up.
All right. Well, I will also assist with the rope tying
Okay.
and try to bind or lash a couple more boards to sort of create the raft a little bit larger.
Sounds good.
And was that athletics or acrobatics? Or sleight of hand?
You could use sleight of hand if you wanted to do like a knot tying, for knot tying and getting the ropes together to hold the boards in place. Sure, yeah, you could do that.
All right.
Ooh, base
Quickly
18.
lash some boards together.
Yeah, easily. With a 22, you're able to get all the knots tied and the ropes in place. And, it's starting to look like a decent-sized raft. I mean, maybe it's one of those, like, Hawaiian, ships that you would just kind of straddle more so than you would, actually sit inside of. But it's something that you all feel comfortable enough to actually get up and onto the ship.
Like an outrigger kind of thing.
Yeah, something along those lines.
All right, that will end my turn then.
And as the round 3 ends, the reef shark continues to just float away from the wreckage, and we will call that the end of combat. As you are all able to now easily pull together the rest of the wreckage. It doesn't appear to be any more sharks in the area, although you're sure, given all the blood in the water, you don't want to be here for much longer. And you're able to certainly, get some kind of a reasonably good, ship together, or like lifeboat here to start getting on your way. All right. Go ahead.
I'll also grab a couple pieces of board and sort of like makeshift paddles.
Cool. Excellent. Okay. All right, let me see something here real quick. All right, so let's see how many. Let me see how many sailors actually survived this attack amongst besides the pirate attack already. what do we got here? We'll go with. Oops, we'll do that. Okay, so a total of 5 sailors, including the captain, were able to survive the pirate attack and scramble over to the makeshift raft to jump on with you.
All right.
And yeah, you can
paddling.
Yeah, you can see out in the distance the islands of that you've been chartering to try and find the Bonny Bard's treasures. And
Yeah.
go
I
ahead.
was gonna say while we were lashing the raft, did any of the ship's supplies survive? Things that we could use for like survival gear.
Sure, yeah, certainly. You can see some of the
flotsam.
Yep, plenty of flotsam about. So if you want to try and lash any of that to your onto this little makeshift raft here, sure enough, you can definitely do that.
All right.
Yeah, and considering that there's no real panic at the moment, you guys definitely collect enough that you feel comfortable towing this along with you as you make your way to the island. And yeah, so guys start making your way to the island.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So you guys start paddling, and between the lot of you, you four and the 5 surviving sailors, the captain looks at you all and he goes, "Thank you so much for defending us while we all got this, this raft together. It's much appreciated." And he calls out to one of his crewmates. He's like, "Mate, how long do you suppose it's going to take us to get to this island?" And the crew member looks back and he goes, it's quite a ways away. It's going to at least take a week to get there. We'll see you guys next week." The Ever Sidequesters will be back next Tuesday in 1 week's time as you all paddle and make your way to the island and journey to find the Bonny Bard's treasure and loot.
So my bard's already tabulating in his head how he's going to talk Goodger out of some more of the loot because he promised safe passage.
Well, safe passage was the idea. Who knows about, a pirate attack. But anyways, I wanted to thank everyone for joining us tonight. Everyone that was here for the live stream and watching us play the first part of this quest chain to get us all moving along in this One D&D playtest. Thank you all so much for watching. I am Andrew, and I have been your DM for the night. If the rest of you would kindly sign off as well, we will say goodbye to everyone, and then I'll award XP after the stream's over. Eric, if you want to start us off with the sign off for your character.
This is Eric playing Kurgath Gloryhammer, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, this is Mike, Marco's player, and yeah, we'll see you around.
Yeah, this is Scott playing Schmeppylock. See you next time.
This is Sean playing Durgon. I need a towel.
Definitely. And just quick business, if anyone's curious, we have the VTT is Foundry. Some of the music was supplied by Tabletop Audio, and the adventure that we are currently on is the Tale of the Bonny Bard from the Crucible Magazine. You can find the links below in the description, and thank you all so much for joining us. And if you watch this later on as well, thank you. You've all been awesome. A big thanks to all of my friends and family members here who have been playing D&D with me for this adventure, and going along with the crazy idea of using the One D&D rule set. And yeah, we'll see you all next week. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night. Okay.